welcome once again to Calaveras Living. Now, if you follow the news, which I'm sure most of you do, you couldn't miss in the newspapers or on television all the controversy lately about the Veterans Administration and the various problems with veterans, long waits, inadequate medical attention, the various problems. We thought it'd be interesting today to talk to a couple of men from the VFW Post 2600, you say 2600, I guess, and see what their feelings are about what's happening with veterans and medical attention and proper treatments. So to my immediate right is Marshal Moffit. Hi, Marshal. And Don Cuneo. And you were both in the Second World War, right?
Yes, I was.
Okay, both in the Navy.
Right.
You didn't know each other then?
No.
You met at the post, huh?
No, I met him long before that.
Oh, you met him before you were in the post.
Right.
Good. Now, have you had some experience with the Veterans Administration regarding health problems?
Yes, I have.
What comes to your mind?
Specifically?
Yeah, I mean, good things, bad things, inattention, good care, bad care?
No, I do not have any problems at all with the VA system.
Okay.
I've had shoulder replacement complete, which was about a month in the making for all of the procedures they go through, and that was done. And I had a gallbladder removal, unfortunately, but no, anything I've had done, I think has been excellent, really, for me. I don't know.
Where were those done?
Anybody else? The shoulder replacement was done in the Palo Alto VA.
And your gallbladder?
The gallbladder was in Mather.
In where?
Mather.
Mather. Oh,
Mather
Field?
Yeah.
Okay, Sacramento.
Yes.
Okay, good. So, do you know any stories about men recently in the service who've had problems?
No, I don't. Only what I've heard. I have no experience with it, but I've heard some of the delays that they've had, and it's kind of hard to believe, but they have an awful big backlog of people.
Yeah.
I mean, not that they don't get on them, but there's so many that come in, and you have to have a pretty good bunch of people there to handle all that, and I don't think they do.
Okay, you think they're inadequately staffed? Just don't
I
have
personally feel that that would be the reason that they're not getting their proper care.
Okay. Okay, and Don, have you had any personal experience?
Well, I haven't been anything like Marshall here. I joined the VA system about 5 or 6 years ago, mainly to get my hearing aids. And I went down to a hospital in Livermore to get tested, and then I had to go back again to get fitted, and then I had to go back again to get the hearing aid. And it worked out fine. Everybody took good care of me down there, and I go to the VA clinic in Sonora, and I get a yearly examination. They send me a date, and they'll send me a card as to when to make an appointment. I make an appointment. I got to go over there and get blood drawn, and then the following week I go and get the results of the blood test, and then I get my physical.
Oh, so it's pretty much an annual physical.
Annual affair. I've been doing that for about 5 years now.
Yeah.
And I got my second hearing aid just about 6 months ago, and I went back down to Livermore, to the VA hospital up there on the hill, and they tested me, and then I had to go to the VA clinic in Modesto to get the hearing aids. And they fitted me with them, and they worked fairly good.
Yeah.
But that's
you
only
feel
experience.
You've had pretty prompt attention then?
Yeah, everybody was courteous and very helpful. I didn't have to wait very long at all. I have a good rapport with the VA.
Do you feel that's kind of indicative of how they treat especially veterans from the Second World War? or you get more attention than long ago than newer?
I don't think so.
I don't know. I would think the newer ones would get more attention coming back from wounded coming back from Iraq should get the first attention.
Yeah, we've in the news there's a lot of horror stories about having to wait 6 months, a year, whatever it is.
I can't. It's hard for me to believe that. I don't know. It's not, especially in California. It might be in some of those other states, but here they're right on the ball.
You would think that it would be more prompt, but as Marcia was saying, maybe it's that they're understaffed, or we read things in the news about, cover-ups or errors.
I don't know. I've last 3 years I've had the same doctor over there at the clinic. I talk about changing doctor all the time, but the same one been there the last 3 years.
Oh, that's good.
So that makes me feel good.
Yeah.
My primary doctor I've had for, I don't know, 5, 6 years anyway.
Yeah.
Which I'm very happy with. She takes a lot of time. That's why you have to kind of wait a little bit on her, because she doesn't throw you out the door as soon as 15 minutes is up.
Well, that's good. Some doctors do that.
Yeah, but not there. And as far as treatment, and if you're not familiar with it, you should see it at the Palo Alto VA, where they have all these traumatic brain injuries.
Mm-hmm.
We've gone over there several times to visit and donate different things for them, bicycles and phones and all that. And they look like they got zippers all over their head, and they don't have, it's a distant look when they're looking at you.
Yeah.
You go a month later and the guys are up running around saying, I'm ready to go back.
Wow.
And I think that's excellent treatment they're getting there. Of course, that's only from my observation.
Yeah. Now, these are young fellows, most of them?
Oh, yeah, Afghanistan and Iraq and
Iraq.
all those guys coming back from over there.
Yeah. What do you think when you see the news stories? What's your reaction when you hear so much criticism of the VA?
Well, like I said before, it's hard to believe, but I can understand with so many patients coming in, you have to have the staff behind it to handle them all. Mm-hmm. And if you have more guys coming in than you've got staff to handle, they're going to wait.
So you get a backlog.
You got a backlog of people. But that's my opinion. I can't say that's what's happening.
Yeah. What do you feel, Don, when you see the news stories?
Hard for me to believe.
Yeah.
But like he says, this is a backlog group coming in. Like it's happening just recently. Somebody's going to have to wait. But around here, we don't have no wait at all.
So it's been working out. Mm-hmm. You know any stories of any younger people in VFW who have had problems?
I don't know of any. I've talked to quite a few people, but I haven't heard of any. Mm-hmm.
You've had, you don't have an influx in the VFW of many younger people lately?
No, we don't have very many younger, well, 60s, 70s, and none of the younger ones, no.
Why do you think that is?
They're probably too busy. We had some young members join, but then we don't see them anymore. We have dinners, and they don't come to the dinners, and they don't come to the VFW.
What is there any relationship or any close connection between the VFW and the Veterans Administration besides handling patients? Do you have any, as organizations, any ongoing discussions with them?
No, we've had the clinic come to San Andreas. They bring their big motorhome, and they have a doctor in attendance and a nurse, and they'll come and spend a day here every once in a while, and so any of the veterans can come in to visit them.
Can you go to them for just general health problems besides your annual physical? I mean, if you have a cold or you think you've caught something or something aches?
You couldn't do that. I haven't done that. They gave me a number to call. You have to you call somebody to,
Yeah.
and they tell you where to go and when.
But do you go to another doctor, just a private doctor for just general health
Yeah,
reasons?
I do.
Okay. You also, Marshall?
No, I strictly VA.
Oh, there.
And if something, like you just asked Don, if there's something that's wrong with you or you think it's wrong, they have an urgent care emergency room there, which is very well takes care of you too.
Uh-huh. And that is where?
That's still over there in the Mather.
Oh, in Mather Field. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
VA over there.
I get
I
my
imagine you got the same thing.
I get
Don.
my blood pressure medicine through the VA also,
Uh-huh.
and I just call a number and they mail it to me.
You get a good rate. Do they give you a good rate, or is
Oh
it
yeah,
expensive?
$8
That's for a month? How 2 months?
for 1 month.
Oh, for one. Well, that's pretty. What is the normal cost of that? Do you know?
I'm afraid to look.
You afraid to look?
I don't know. I'm not sure. It's plenty.
Yeah, plenty.
Yeah.
Too much.
And another thing, if my hearing aids don't work or anything, I send them to a place in Colorado, and in about 2 or 3 weeks, I get them back again. They're repaired
Oh, that's.
through the VA.
What do you do in the interim? No, you say what? Good point. Yeah. But
And I get my batteries from there too. I send a card in, and they mail me batteries.
Now that's a big help too, because the cost of those batteries.
Yeah.
They don't last all that long if you're wearing your hearing aids all the time.
yeah, you have them on. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's quite an expense out of your pocket if you have to pay for it.
Yeah. Have you had, besides your gallbladder and your shoulder, had any other major health problems?
Yeah. I have atrial fibrillation that I've taken medicine for.
Okay, and they take care of that?
I have a pacemaker they installed.
Uh-huh.
I also have hearing aids. Those, after the original rigmarole you go through, all of the testing,
Yeah.
because I went to 3 different places for testing, and then I got the hearing aids, and this is still from the VA in Mather. I go in, they sent me a card to make an appointment every 6 months.
Uh-huh.
And they take your hearing aids and they clean them up, they put new filters in it,
Yeah.
ask you how your batteries are, they give you cleaning material for them, and that's all for free, so to
Yeah.
speak.
Well, that's the way it should be.
Yeah,
I mean,
I have no complaints there.
any of your, like both of you, your hearing loss, is that anything to do with your service?
I feel mine did, same way Don did. I mean, he was exposed to gunfire, being a director also.
Old age has something to do with it too.
Yeah, but when it starts before your old age,
Yeah.
it's something
Yeah.
else.
Well, that's because you're exposed to a lot of, depending upon what branch of the service and what your duty was, then especially your hearing can go. I know when I hear the stories, I just wonder what's happening, but it might get back to exactly as you said, that they're understaffed. Do you think that goes back to the administration generally, or is just the VA itself?
There's so much criticism, they're going to take care of it pretty soon.
Oh, you think it'll improve?
Oh yeah, I think.
Yeah, I don't know if it's administration or what, but it seems like some departments that I get exposed to, there's patients that just coming in and out all the time.
A lot of them.
Yeah, but then again, you see quite a few people standing around with coffee in their hand or having a personal conversation with somebody or on the telephone while you're standing in line to be taken care of. I know that for a fact, but I can't say that goes on during the whole office staff or the whole hospital.
Is it generally pretty crowded when you're there, though?
Depends on the day.
On the day.
Yeah.
How about you, Don?
No, I never had a few people in, but when they set me for 10 o'clock, they generally take me in right at the right time. I don't.
Sometimes before that, before your appointment.
That's better than some regular doctors. I've waited at the urologist for hour and a half.
Yeah.
So it's difficult. But generally, how about the other members in the VFW? Hear any other comments from people who served either during the time you were in or after have had some problems?
I haven't heard of any. No problems that I know of.
Not in our area that we're exposed to, anyway.
Yeah. I wonder if it's just generally better in this area. You still have to go quite a ways, though. If you go to Palo Alto or you go to Livermore or you go to Sacramento, that's quite a ways. There are clinics closer to here, though?
Sacramento's the only one I know of, isn't it?
Oh, Sonora, one in Modesto.
Or Sonora, that's what I meant. Modesto's
And then
not
the hospital in Mather and hospital in Palo Alto.
Okay. Is the Sonora one separate from?
It's a clinic. It's not a hospital.
Okay. It's not a hospital.
But they have doctor there and nurses. And if anything serious, they'll send you from there to the hospital.
Okay.
They also have bus at the clinic over there that I think once a week takes people down to
is that
Palo
right?
Alto. Yeah.
Oh, that's good. That you can.
I think it's 88 miles from here. I think to Palo Alto.
What, round trip?
One way.
Yeah, one way.
80 to Palo Alto.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
kind of an all-day trip.
Yeah. I know I was recently down to Stanford, Redwood City, actually, and it was, from where I live, was 320 miles round trip. That takes a long time. But it's interesting to hear you talk that you've been taken pretty good care of.
I have no complaints.
That's good.
I got to check. He said you get your hearing aid checked every 6 months. I got to check, have that thing care. I didn't know we could do that.
Yeah.
So it's every 6 months? And yours is?
Well, I have not sent mine in yet. He said you can send them in every 6 months and get them cleaned. I didn't know that.
Oh.
And nobody told me that.
Well, you'll have to meet up with Marshall and get his hearing aid.
I'll send one at a time.
Well, that's good. When you say you just recently got one, right? You had one before and you recently got another?
Before, when I first got it, it was good for 5 years. Now, every 3 years, you get new hearing aids. And I just got my new hearing aids.
Do you feel that the VA supplies state-of-the-art hearing aids? I mean, they're the best you can get?
Top of the line, yeah.
Is that true with you, Marshall?
Yes. I think it is.
Pardon?
I think so.
Yeah.
They also gave me a speaker that I hooked up with the through my cell phone, and then the sound comes in both ears, so I don't have to put the phone up to here.
Oh.
So that's a good thing for me.
And they supply that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Well, it's interesting to hear. You know, we were wondering here at the studio. We thought, well, we'll talk with somebody from the VFW and see if they've gotten good care and kind of balance that. See if that balances off with what we hear in the news.
We don't have any problem around here.
I don't know of any problem they're having here.
How many members now in your post?
What,
About 250.
250, 230, 80 or something like that.
So probably if there were any major problems, you would have heard of them, right?
Yeah.
Most of the members there, the older members, do use the VA?
Yeah, most of, I don't know how many, there are quite a few or not, I don't know.
I don't either, because some of them have their own, they go to the VA, but they also have a private doctor.
Okay.
And I couldn't give you that statistic.
Why would somebody do that if you're getting such good care at the VA?
Well, some of the ones that I've talked to, they said that they don't need the VA because their insurance plan is good enough.
Oh, so,
And it takes care of what they need.
And another thing, you have to drive a long ways if you got to go to the hospital.
so they can go to a doctor close
Yeah,
by.
if I get a cold, I just go down to the clinic here at the hospital, local hospital, and do my
If a person, a veteran, had no insurance whatsoever, can he or she still go to the VA and get free treatment?
If you qualify,
What does it take to qualify?
income,
Pardon?
your income.
Oh, your income. In other words, if you have a too high an income, you don't qualify. It has to be lower.
They have different categories for eligibility. You know, if you've been a prisoner of war, you're 100%.
Oh, okay.
If you're wounded in the war, there's another percentage that you're in different stages.
Mm-hmm.
And those are the ones that's mandatory type thing.
Okay.
They accept you. And then if you go beyond that, it goes on your income
Okay.
as to how much care you're going to get. You might have to pay a copay for your appointment or your visit,
Mm-hmm.
which is still better, I think, than the regular doctor you'd have, a civilian like.
What application does Medicare have in relation to working with the VA? I mean, Medicare covers part of it.
I think Medicare covers part of it.
Part of it.
Yeah, I know when I go to get my physical, they bill me for $50
Okay.
from the VA, but I think Medicare, I'm not positive of that, but I think Medicare pays part of it too.
Well, they do. Well, let's put it this way. I know that Medicare gets billed for it
Uh-huh.
because we get a copy of the
Oh,
billing.
billing, yeah.
And if you have private insurance that the Medicare doesn't take care of, then they get done also
Mm-hmm.
for their share of it. So, yeah, they do.
So there's some relationship there. Okay. How about dependents? Can like you have a son or daughter, or say they were smaller when you were younger, can you send a son or daughter or your wife to the VA?
I don't know.
Do you
I
know
never
that?
got involved in anything
No,
like that.
just myself. I know your spouse can be buried in a military cemetery. I know that.
Mm-hmm.
But
I didn't know if spouses were eligible or not for VA benefits,
I'm not
or
sure.
is it just the person who was in the service?
I think so.
I really can't answer because I don't know. I only know of one person that was a retiree.
Mm-hmm.
His wife is partially covered, I think.
Okay.
And I don't say this for gospel, but I believe she's partially covered.
I'll take it as gospel. I trust you, Marshall.
It's on their TRICARE program, but
Pardon?
I said it's part of their TRICARE program.
Okay.
But I don't know enough about it to say yes or no.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's so interesting. Anything, just in summing up, for the program here, your general comments. I mean, obviously you've gotten good care, gotten fairly prompt care by qualified people, evidently the doctors and the nurses.
Yeah, I'm glad that I signed up with the VA. I didn't do it for years, and everybody said you should get in the VA. You should be. So I did.
Yeah, well,
And
that's
I'm,
good.
I'm,
Well, I
I'm,
know they
I'm
have
happy with it.
certain benefits. Especially, we had someone on the program not long ago who said, that especially on hearing problems, that the VA is very good, and the cost is
Yeah.
actually free or very low.
Yeah.
So that's a good situation.
Yeah, I'm very pleased with the service I get.
That's good.
You have eye care too, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
Cataracts, will take them out,
Yeah.
get you glasses. So I feel I'm pretty well covered. I don't know about the rest of them,
Yeah.
but I can't complain.
Do you ever talk about these things at your meetings or your dinners?
Yeah, we talk about one another all the time.
But I mean, where you get kind of other feedback from other veterans.
Yeah, we have people come from other districts and talk to us about that, but
Okay.
everything is fine.
Most of your members are World War II veterans?
No.
No? Some from what, Korea? or-
Vietnam, Korea.
Uh-huh.
There's not too many World War II guys left there.
Yeah. We keep burying the World War II guys, and next comes the Korean.
Yeah.
But mostly now we'll have, I would say the majority would be Korea and Vietnam.
And Vietnam.
And
Yeah.
of course, we're not picking up any of the guys that's coming out of Afghanistan and
Yeah, that's
that war over there.
true. The VFW has been a very good organization for decades and decades and done very good things to help veterans. It's too bad the younger people aren't joining and participating.
I joined the VFW when I got back from the war, and then I dropped out and I didn't join till about in 1990, I guess, something like that.
Uh-huh.
But
When did you start? But all the time you were getting some VA benefits, even though you didn't join VFW.
No.
But when did you start getting veterans VA benefits?
I got 5 or 6 years ago is when I signed up
Oh, is that right?
for VA.
Oh, and you too, Marshall?
I've got 8 years.
8 years. Why didn't you all get involved in that earlier?
I don't know.
That's a good answer.
I had other insurance too.
Oh, okay.
Well, I did too.
Yeah.
Other insurance. And the VA also took care of my father.
Oh, that's good. He was just in the service, huh?
Yeah, he was a World War I job, you know.
Uh-huh.
Did something happen to him, he'd be over in Livermore. And
Wow, that's good.
they'd let me know, and I'd come see how he's doing. But no, I can honestly say I don't have any bad words to say.
Yeah, well, that's good. Well, I think for your viewers out there, we found something here today that we didn't know, and generally in this area, the things are very good. You've gotten good care, good prompt care, and we appreciate you coming on too, sharing your stories. And I'm gonna apply for my hearing aids soon. Okay.
You got to go to Livermore.
Oh, I don't know. It's getting in this here. It's not so good. But anyway, Marshall, it's good to see you, and Don, it's good to see you too. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
Everything you've done, and especially appreciate your service during the war too.
Thank you.
Good. And we'll see you next time on Calaveras Living. Thank you.